Hello, my name is Nick DeNapoli, and I'm a student at Tulane University. I'm in a Native American history class where we learn about the history of Native people all over North America. For this class, we watched the Indigenous Gulf Stream, and your amazing art of Ned Romero caught my interest. Star Trek was a huge part of my childhood. Almost every day, I would sit down with my dad and watch either the original series or The Next Generation, which was my personal favorite. It had been a while since I've watched Star Trek, but memories started flooding back while watching your video. I never knew that Krell was Native, and I was pleasantly surprised to learn that he was Chitimacha and even studied at LSU. The diversity that Star Trek had was unparalleled for its time period. Due to it being set in space, Star Trek did not have to conform to the Western expectations of casting and stereotyping characters of color. The amount of representation made it a great show for all audiences. One example of this that I love is Geordi LaForge, played by the legendary LeVar Burton, who was a blind and African American character who played a crucial role on the Enterprise. It also seemed like every character had a masterfully written backstory, allowing different audiences to view each conflict in their own unique way. I love that Ned Romero's character was able to help you overcome the racism that you faced, because I think that many people try to downplay the importance of representation in media. Seeing characters that have similarities to you can remind people that they don't have to change themselves for others. In society, we do not do a good enough job of making sure that everybody feels comfortable being themselves, and having diversity in all forms of art is the best way to do this. It's clear how important this was to you, and I love how you were able to combine these memories with your education and talent to create a piece that became the poster for the project that I saw on campus every day leading up to the stream. One thing that I thought was interesting was the idea that Krell's appearance enforced his role as the villain, which reminds me of a topic that we reviewed called physiognomy. Physiognomy is the pseudoscience of assessing a person's character or personality from external features such as skin color, facial features, and other physical traits that people view as different. This practice was largely used to justify the colonization of native people, as colonists claimed that their differences in features represented barbarianism and showed that they needed the colonists to save them. Although it was clear that this practice was not backed by science, it was still used, often subconsciously, in society due to stereotypes and racism that have been normalized in America. I love the way that you did not let this affect your perspective of the show and how you identified with Ned Romero's character. Additionally, when I did research on Krell, I saw that he formed a puppet government on the planet Neutral by providing villagers with flintlock pistols which he claimed were advanced technology. With these, Krell believed that they could take over the planet and he could control their government easily with the interest of the Klingon Empire in mind. This reminds me of the way that the United States government lied to many native nations east of the Mississippi and told them that they would get more valuable land in order to move them to Oklahoma with the Indian Removal Act of 1830, where they could control native nations much easier with their own interest in mind and take the natural resources that were on the land that they had lived on for centuries. Although I believe that this parallel was unintentional by the writers, it shows how art imitates real life and how important it is to remember the history of Native peoples. Overall, I loved this piece of art, and it even brought back some great memories of watching Star Trek with my dad. Thank you for sharing, and I would love to hear feedback on this video if you have time.